This report examines Jordan, a globally recognized child prodigy who navigated intense industry pressure and fierce vocal scrutiny before cementing a profound artistic evolution by early 2026. The brutal reality of her transition from an 8-year-old sensation into an independent artist highlights a major clash between modern pop expectations and her timeless jazz roots. 8 years old marked the exact age when she first captured worldwide attention. Winning Norway's Got Talent in 2014 immediately established her baseline of success. Performing at the prestigious Nobel Peace Prize Concert happened during a period when most young children are merely learning basic melodies. What followed next shaped her entire future trajectory. A deeply mature, jazz-infused vocal tone emerged from her early performances, presenting an auditory experience that appeared impossible for someone of her youth. And this is where things changed. Establishing such a unique vocal signature so early laid the groundwork for an incredibly demanding path ahead. The turning point came when her foundational jazz identity began attracting global industry titans. Early fame became a massive test. Worldwide viral recognition arrived in 2020 after she delivered a haunting rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody on America's Got Talent, The Champions. That specific television performance acted as a massive career catalyst. That same year, a personal signing by Republic Records co-founder and CEO Monty positioned her for mainstream domination. What followed next was a massive digital explosion across the internet. Over 4 billion total views eventually accumulated across all her online platforms, and this is where things changed for the developing singer. Transitioning from a beloved child star into a respected adult artist remains a notoriously difficult challenge within the modern music industry. The turning point came when expectations shifted heavily. Navigating the machinery of a major record label introduced entirely new pressures that threatened her original sound. Maintaining her distinct jazz identity proved difficult. Industry executives clearly held different visions for her upcoming musical direction. Her massive online presence brought immense scrutiny from global audiences expecting continuous viral moments. The foundation of her early childhood success suddenly faced harsh realities. Between 2023 and mid-2024, the public narrative surrounding her career took a remarkably sharp turn. This specific became widely known among her core audience as the Hollywood alteration controversy. Serious concerns emerged from critics and longtime fans who feared the music industry was actively eroding the very qualities that made her special. What followed next was intense online criticism, centered largely around her visual presentation. Blue contact lenses and heavy makeup became frequent points of contention among her dedicated listeners. And this is where things changed dramatically. Participating in vacuous YouTube shorts and TikTok drew heavy backlash from followers who valued her natural warmth and serious artistry. The turning point came when her openly rejected these modern internet trends. This jarring visual shift alienated those who initially supported her classic style. Social media algorithms demanded constant content creation. Balancing authentic artistic expression with the superficial requirements of viral marketing proved disastrous during this period. The polished Hollywood aesthetic conflicted sharply with the grounded jazz persona she previously established. Criticisms extending far beyond her physical image quickly targeted the actual music she was releasing. Experimenting with modern pop and R&B beats triggered a massive and significant clash of musical genres. Vocal critics and fans alike boldly claimed her promising career was being heavily mishandled by industry executives. What followed next was a wave of accusations directed at her record producers. Muddying her naturally brilliant vocals with generic production and cheesy lyrics became the primary complaint from her audience. And this is where things changed musically. Forcing a generational jazz talent into a standard pop mold created deep friction within her listener base. The turning point came when the contrast between her vocal ability and the surrounding instrumentation grew too large. Fans demanded a return to authenticity. Commercial beats overshadowed the rich, complex tones she naturally possessed. Industry attempts to modernize her sound ultimately stripped away the emotional depth that initially captivated her massive global audience. Navigating this immense creative disconnect forced a critical reevaluation of her entire artistic direction going forward. Intense vocal scrutiny from prominent industry experts arrived alongside the ongoing genre clash. Public critiques regarding her unique stylistic choices began surfacing from well-known vocal coaches online. Specifically noting her heavy aspirate tone and the use of subharmonics, these experts highlighted the mechanics behind her signature sound. What followed next were serious warnings about the severe risks of long-term vocal strain. Emulating such advanced, gritty styles without perfect execution immediately raised alarms within the professional singing community. And this is where things changed for her technical reputation. Relying on raspy techniques introduced potential dangers to her developing vocal cords. The turning point came when these expert analyses gained traction among her viewers. technical precision became a major topic. Maintaining vocal health while delivering deeply emotional performances required a delicate balance she was still mastering. The pressure to sound mature occasionally pushed her voice into precarious territory, according to these detailed professional evaluations. Navigating these technical criticisms added another layer of intense pressure to her evolution. September 24, 2024 marked the first major step toward effectively silencing her numerous online critics. Releasing the single Bad Valentine sent a remarkably clear signal to the entire music industry. Produced by Grammy-winning hit songwriter Gad, the track represented a distinct pivot back toward what she did best. What followed next was a wave of positive reinforcement. The music blog officially described the release as a thought-provoking ballad that invokes women's empowerment and best showcases Jordan's musical spark. And this is where things changed permanently. Reclaiming her vocal authority helped rebuild the trust she had temporarily lost with her core audience. The turning point came when the focus finally shifted away from internet trends and back to her actual singing capabilities. She abandoned the generic pop formula. Delivering a powerful vocal performance reminded everyone why she initially captured the world's attention. This strategic release successfully bridged the gap between her early jazz roots and her developing identity as a maturing artist. The foundation for her upcoming musical independence was officially laid during this critical late transition period. Unprecedented momentum carried directly into 2025, which ultimately proved to be the most pivotal year of her career. Discussions among fans by late 2025 suggested a massive behind-the-scenes shift regarding her professional management. Operating with high creative control, she appeared to have successfully transitioned to an independent artist under a label listed as MOSARZ LLC. What followed next silenced the remaining doubts. September 9, 2025 marked the official release of her highly anticipated jazz-infused project titled Secret of the Soul. And this is where things changed completely. Marking a definitive return to her roots, the immediate response to the album was overwhelmingly positive. The turning point came when a critic summarized the project perfectly. Classic, graceful, and timeless defined the new music. It felt as though it could have been written and recorded in the 1940s or 50s. Fans who previously thought she had abandoned her original sound were officially put on notice by this release. Reclaiming her creative independence allowed her to finally produce the authentic music her dedicated audience had been demanding for years. Complete immunity from technical scrutiny did not immediately accompany her successful return to jazz music. Prominent YouTube vocal coach Dr. Dan published a highly critical analysis of her live Unchained Melody performance on October 15, 2025. The detailed evaluation remained balanced, but exceptionally honest about the technical hurdles she still faced on stage. What followed next was a nuanced conversation about live singing realities. Dr. Dan fully acknowledged that each live performance represents a mere snapshot in time rather than encapsulating an artist's entire spectrum of work. And this is where things changed technically. Pointing out occasional pitch fluctuations, the coach suggested she still experienced lingering breath management challenges during live sets. The turning point came when the analysis concluded on a highly positive note. He confirmed her impressive vocal depth. Highlighting her undeniable range adaptability proved that her core talent remained entirely intact despite minor technical flaws. Facing this level of professional criticism head-on demonstrated her willingness to grow as a serious musician rather than a manufactured pop product. Doubling down on her artistic output became her immediate response to the ongoing spotlight and vocal analysis. She released her holiday-themed EP and album, titled Secret of the Star, just 1 month later on November 18, 2025. Featuring exactly 7 carefully crafted tracks, the project successfully established a remarkably strong and confident end-of-year presence. What followed next was a clear demonstration of her newfound autonomy. Producing music strictly on her own terms allowed her to bypass the traditional industry gatekeepers, and this is where things changed for her release strategy. Dictating her own schedule proved she no longer relied on major label machinery to reach her audience. The turning point came when the holiday released her brand identity. She controlled the entire narrative. Consistent, high-quality releases replaced the chaotic social media strategies that plagued her earlier teenage years. Building a reliable catalog of independent music transformed her from a viral sensation into a sustainable working artist. The culmination of her childhood fame, Hollywood controversies, and label shifts finally resulted in a period of intense and focused creative productivity. Early 2026 served as the ultimate culmination of her turbulent journey through the modern music industry. Headlining a highly praised concert at the International Theater at Las Vegas Resort and Casino, occurred on January 31, 2026. The 8-year-old who previously sang at the Nobel Peace Prize Concert was now confidently commanding a legendary Vegas stage. What followed next secured her artistic legacy. Debuting original songs like Summer Wind firmly showcased her established identity as an independent songwriter. And this is where things changed forever. Dr. Dan published another analysis on March 25, 2026, reviewing her live performance of It's a Man's World. The turning point came when this final verdict confirmed her vocal depth, stylistic maturity, and sustained longevity. Vocal coaches specifically noted her incredible ability to hit a remarkably low D3 note. The intense scrutiny of her teenage pop phase has now completely subsided. Operating independently under MOSARZ LLC, leaning back into soul, and writing her own tracks proved her voice matured naturally. She effectively silenced every critic while retaining her unique and timeless quality.